This better be important, or I swear...
Clint, please, don't let the children hear you.
Well, if Asa can't grace us with his presence for a pre-Christmas dinner, why should we jump whenever he snaps his fingers?
Look, I'm no happier with Asa than you are, but he is head of the family.
Yeah. Oh, really? That's kind of funny to hear. I mean, considering the last couple of weeks, it seems like he's been doing everything in his power to split the family up.
Yeah, you can say that again.
Well, we can all say it. The scars that he inflicted on me from the Centennial Ball still hurt. I'm not here for him anyway. I'm here for Renee. Look at her. She is so worried. Obviously, whatever he wants to tell us must be very serious.
Mom, can we go now? Grandpa hasn't shown up, just like yesterday.
It's all right, Kevin. You kids are entitled to know why I summoned you, as all you grown-ups are.
Oh, I'm glad you're here, honey. The natives are getting restless.
Not only that, we've been heating up the kettle. And guess who's going to be the main course, Pa?
Why don't you tell me again just what happened last night in the park?
Al was playing with his new toy. He was so happy, and then this woman...
This homeless woman?
She fell, and then we ran over to see if she was all right.
You left my son alone. Why?
No, Gabrielle.
I'm trying to understand here, but I don't. Why did
we didn't mean to, all right? It all happened so fast.
Well, you didn't see her face. You didn't go after. You just let her go.
We tried to run after her, and we tried everything, Gabrielle. I am sorry, all
yes,
right?
I know you're sorry. Everybody is so bloody sorry, but it doesn't bring my son back, does it? Oh, have you found him? Have you found our son?
Here's what to do when you don't find the rainbows in this time. Here's where you go when it looks like the rain won't end. Don't cry. I'll give you tomorrow. Let me be the one to share it with. And each day that follows, 'cause we only have one life to live.
I'm sorry. We checked every shelter in town, but we don't have a single lead.
Oh, God.
Jim, you know the plan. Max says we can use the kitchen as our base of operations. You can set up the monitor and the tape recorder on the phone in there.
Yes, sir.
I'll show you where.
Now, it may not seem like much, but at least we got the phones covered in case the kidnapper calls.
You're right, it seems like not much. It's nothing, Rafe.
Max, listen, I know you're frustrated.
Frustrated? It is my kid out there, Rafe. You're wasting time hooking up wiretaps and non-existent phone calls. You should be pulling everyone out of those shelters and questioning them, threatening them if you have to find out where my son is.
You know I can't do that. I am doing everything I can within the law. I've asked the DA's office to send in all available manpower. I'm about to call the feds to report the kidnapping. They've got experts. They can send it.
The world is full of lousy experts. And my kid is still missing. You know what? If I got to go out and find him myself, that's what I'm going to do.
No, Max, wait a second. Where are you going?
Maybe we missed something in the park. I'm going to check the museum. I'm going to check everywhere. I got to find out.
Listen, I've got my men covering that area, all right? Let them handle it.
Rafe, they're not handling it.
Max, please, if you want to help, sit down with Gabrielle and talk to me. Help us come up with some possible motives for this.
There is no motive. I keep running it through my mind. There is no motive. This is not a standard kidnapping. They would have called for a ransom.
We don't know that, Max.
Yeah, we know that my son is gone for no damn reason. No, there's a reason. Me.
Max, you didn't do anything.
Oh, that's just it. I didn't do anything. Andy and Tyler wanted me to go with them to the planetarium. Keep an eye on Al. No, I didn't go. If I'd stayed, Don't scream, Megan. I'm sorry.
Raymond. again.
Joseph, please. I didn't mean to frighten you, but there was no other way. I had to see you this morning.
Oh, you had to see me. Well, I'm very flattered you're so anxious to see me that you broke into my room, but you know, there are such things as telephones. You could have called me or you knocked on the door.
Megan, just let me explain. Joseph? Will you wait in the other room, please?
Of course, Your Highness.
Oh, wait a minute. I may be needing a bodyguard.
I think you'll forgive the intrusion once you see this.
National intruder? Well, that's a picture of the two of us on the way to the Llanfair for Christmas dinner.
Some photographer must have been tipped off that we were going to your family's for the Christmas dinner.
Well, it's not the nicest picture of the two of us, but I don't see any harm in it.
Well, that's because you're not a member of the Royal House of Mendora. Oh, made a huge mistake in allowing myself to be seen with you. I can't risk it again.
Excuse me?
Well, the possible scandal, Megan. That's why I snuck in here. As the future king of Mendora, I can't jeopardize the faith my people have in me. I mean, everybody back home thinks I'm coming to America just to seek treatment for my blindness. If my people think that I'm having fun and games, while the country's in a fragile transition period between monarchs, well, you understand.
Oh, let me get this straight. Your reputation, your royal image is so precious, so fragile that you can't risk being seen with me? What the hell are you doing in my bedroom?
Megan.
I didn't invite you here, so why don't you just make like a king and abdicate? Now!
Why don't we just go back to our place and drink castor oil? Because that would be more pleasant than going in there and talking to Asa.
Don't tempt me, all right? I'm not exactly looking forward to going in there and getting into another fight with your father. But it was Renee who invited us, not Asa.
Look, I feel for Renee. She has to live with the old man. That doesn't mean we do.
Honey, this is your own father we're talking about.
Well, he brought all this on himself.
I know. I just don't like the idea of the Buchanans and the Gordons feuding at Christmas time. Let's just give him one more chance.
That's not fair. See, now you're trying to use my Christmas spirit against me.
Now, all I'm saying is, why can't we meet Asa halfway? Now, Renee says that he has something important to tell us. Maybe it'll shed a little light on why he's been behaving so...
So what? So normal?
Please. The worst thing that can happen is that we'll turn around and walk out. What do we have to lose?
Okay, we'll go in there. We're gonna stay 5 minutes. The second that we know that he's really Asa, we're out of here.
I wanted to wait for Bo and Sarah, but they may not make it. I need to speak my mind to all of you.
Don't you always?
Now, you have a right to be cynical, Clint. If I could turn the clock back, I'd change the way I treated you, each of you. But I can't. Even Asa Buchanan is not that powerful. No, I have not lost my mind. On the contrary, I found it. So if I can't rewrite history, I'm going to do the next best thing. I'm going to make it up to all of you.
Hey, guys.
Oh, thank you for coming. Everybody's here, honey.
Yeah, here we are, but not for long. Well, Pa, you got us all assembled. Why don't you point out who your next target is?
Now, come on, Bo. Pa's trying to do something he's never done before. He's trying to say he's sorry.
Asa Buchanan?
Looks like we missed the comedy portion of this little show, honey.
Oh, I think he means it.
Vicky, there's no need to intercede in my behalf. I don't deserve it. In fact, I don't deserve the gathering of this clan. I'm a man who always believed that saying you're sorry never fixed a broken mirror or mopped up spilt milk. Well, I'm here to tell you all I was wrong. I'm sorry. Especially you, Renee. Renee, she had me pegged right from the beginning. I was feeling sorry for myself. I was feeling that I was losing my grasp, especially when it came to this family. So how did I react? Very typical. I turned my back on the people who loved and needed me. Even my friend Chuck.
Chuck Wilson? There's a blast from the past.
He wrote and asked Asa for some money for an operation. He hated asking a favor, but Asa...
I turned him down flat.
Oh, Pa!
No. It turns out happy ending.
Yesterday, I wired all the money that Chuck needs. Now he can have that operation.
Isn't that wonderful?
All right.
A miracle.
What happened, Grandpa? Did you bump your head?
Almost, Kevin, but this head is so hard it would take more than one bump. Come here. All you kids, come on over here. Let me tell you about it. I mean, I'll tell you something. You guys are not going to believe it. All right. I was watching TV, and I fell asleep. And I had a dream. My old pal, Chuck Wilson, came to visit me. And he took me back in time, when I was a very young boy. About your age, Joey. And I saw my own ma. I saw myself as a young pup. And I saw all of you. Every one of you. Including you, Jessica. And I saw how much I hurt all of you.
I know the story.
I think we all know the story, Joey. I think your grandpa's been reading too much Dickens.
No, Vicky, it really happened. I also got to look into the future. And I saw myself. Stone dead. Wasn't very pretty. I was as dead as Julius Caesar and just about as alone. I woke up and I felt like a new man. Or a better one. And right then and there, I made up my mind to undo all the damage I'd done. Especially this woman right here. She tried to show me how much she loved me, and I kept fighting her every inch of the way. If I learned nothing else from this, I learned there's one thing more powerful than I am, and that is love.
Oh, Asa.
Come on, I mean it. Go.
Megan, will you try and understand?
Oh, I totally understand. You are the future king of Mendora, and you can't sully the crown by being seen in the company of some lowly soap opera actress, so just go.
Damn it, Megan, will you even try and see it from my point of view?
Oh, all I can see right now is a man who is capable of commanding an army and having his subjects bow down to him, but certainly can't be seen in the company of someone who he says that he likes.
I wish it could be as simple as commanding the army. It was hard enough adjusting to my blindness, but now with my father's death... Megan, I have a responsibility. If I don't assume the throne, my brother Roland will. And I can't allow that to happen.
Just because you and your brother don't get along.
Oh, it's more than that. It's much more. I can't go into the details, but my people need me to lead them. Now, that's not ego talking. It's a fact. But there's another fact I can't ignore. All the time I was in Mendora, learning who my real friends are and my enemies, learning how to be king, I kept thinking about you. Wanting to be with you, to hear your voice, to touch you. I said too much, I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I should apologize. You risked your crown to come here. Look, the least I can do is offer you breakfast.
Oh, no, thanks. I really have to be going.
Oh, no. I know why you're suddenly so eager to leave, and you're not going to get away with it. Stay right there. Room service? Yes, I'd like to order breakfast. A royal breakfast.
Max, stop it! Stop this. This isn't going to bring him back home to us. We have to stay strong. We have to stay calm so that we can think of where he might be. Come on.
She's right, Max.
Tyler and I ain't doing any good around here. We're going to go to the bus station and see if there's anything up there.
Yeah, a lot of those homeless people hang out around us, so maybe we'll learn something, okay?
Yeah, listen, you two, I have my own people watching the bus station. Please, don't interfere with them.
We'll stay out of their way, don't worry. Come on.
Rafe, Max, do you want some coffee?
Yeah, thanks.
Let me get my head clear here. Okay, where do we stand? Where do we stand? All right, there've been no calls, so we know that there's not going to be any ransom demands.
It's possible that the kidnapper's waiting till he has Al in a safe place before he calls.
Well, I don't understand why they would even think of us for a ransom. I mean, we're not rolling in money.
Oh, you got that. Thanks.
Could be somebody who wants a child of their own.
Of course. Well, if it's a woman, yes, she might be longing to have her own child, but that means that she'll look after Al. Look, Max, she might even be willing to listen to an appeal, perhaps on television. Could we get a hold of WVLE and set it up? What? What are you thinking?
I want to think about what I'm thinking. What if the person who took Al... What if they're not all there? What if they don't even like kids? What if they get their kicks?
No! No! You're wrong. I know you're wrong.
Gabrielle,
No, if my son was in pain, I would know it.
Gabrielle, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to frighten you. I'm sorry. I'm just scared, too.
I know you're scared, and I'm scared, too. But listen, we cannot start thinking that he's not going to come back to us. We cannot give up hope, no matter what.
Who's holding up who here?
Looks like we're holding each other.
You know, there could be another motive we haven't considered. Revenge.
Revenge? What do you mean? Somebody's out to get me through my son?
Oh, Rafe, you probably mean me. I've been getting a ton of hate mail ever since. I mean, half of Llanfair thinks that Judge Carlin hasn't...
Hate mail is one thing. I mean, we get plenty of that on Fraternity Row, but kidnapping is something else.
What about the other women at the halfway house, Gabrielle? Have you made any enemies there?
Well, a few of them took an instant dislike to me because of what I did to Brenda and her son, but I still don't... Wait a minute. We're forgetting my #1 enemy, Michael Grand.
Of course, he said at the trial, he said he was going to make your life as miserable as he possibly could.
Rafe, do you suppose that he would instigate this whole thing? Would he set up a kidnapping just to get back at me for the pain that I've caused him?
It's worth checking out. I'm going to get right on it. Listen, a word of warning. Don't reveal the kidnapping to anyone, and I mean anyone. The last thing we want is to scare off the kidnapper and endanger the investigation.
We understand.
I'm going to leave Officer Davis to monitor the calls in the kitchen. He can reach me if you need me, all right? Keep the faith.
Faith sounds so simple, doesn't it?
I think the best thing for us to do is to just keep very, very busy. I'm going to go and get the broom and start tidying up a little bit.
No, I can
No,
do
it's
that.
really, it's all right. I can... These are his presents. He didn't get a chance to open.
Raymond, I want you to recover fully. Regain 100% of your eyesight, as the doctors say that you might. But in the meantime, I think that you're going to starve to death if you don't admit that you need some help.
I'm perfectly capable of feeding myself. Look, I like lots of butter on my pancakes. All right.
About
Satisfied?
Syrup? Oh, yeah. Syrup? Don't you like syrup?
Oh, yes, well, of course. By all means, that too.
Oh.
Now,
Raymond.
if you won't be completely convinced until I take the first bite, observe.
I suppose now you're going to tell me that you just love cream on your pancakes. That does it. I'm going to call Sarah.
Megan, no.
All right, you can stop me if you can catch me.
Now, that's not fair, taking advantage of a man in my condition.
Well, at least you admit that you have a condition. One which Sarah will help you deal with.
And Sarah, I owe you an extra big apology for all those curses I hurled at you about your father. Can you ever forgive me?
Asa, now that you've explained why you've been acting like such a...
Scrooge, go on, say it.
The truth is that I've always felt a special closeness to you. And that's what's made the last couple of weeks so painful. It's As far as I'm concerned, let's just wipe the slate clean.
That goes for me too, Pa.
Excuse me, sir. Miss Gordon has a call from her sister. She said it was important.
Well, darling, why don't you take it in the foyer?
All right, thank you.
I'm going to check on Megan, too. Pa, it's just good to see that you're your old self again. You're impossible, cantankerous, but Pa, Asa Buchanan, the one that we all know and love.
I appreciate that, Bo. But I've tested that love and stretched it to its limits.
Excuse me.
You two, forgive a interfering old coot?
No, but we can sure forgive you.
Well, if I've said it once, I've said it 100 times. You are a constant surprise.
I second that.
Give me a hug, Clint. And you too, Cordero.
Hey, welcome back.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm just loving all this loving. Huh? Now, why don't you let Grandma get up for a minute? Okay. Okay. All right. I'll be right back. Stay right there.
Yeah.
Martha?
Wow! Better late than never. They're all for you kids.
Would you believe it? Look at that. The children laughing and the whole family together.
Almost makes you believe in miracles, doesn't it?
Well, there are some of us who never stop believing in miracles. And it's not all Ace's doing.
Vicky, all I did was promise to put our problems behind us for a while and sit down to a Christmas Eve dinner.
I know, and it meant the world to me and to the children. But you see, now that Christmas is all but over, I have to wonder, do you really still think there's no hope for us?
Vicky, that isn't an easy question to answer.
Well, I know it's not. But you see, if Asa can turn his whole life around, then it must be possible that we can too.
Mom, Dad, you gotta see his computer. It does everything.
I'll be right there, Kevin. I can't keep Mr. Wizard waiting now, can I?
No, of course you can't.
Vicky, excuse me a second. Could you keep an eye on CJ? I'd like to go over to the Lord Love the Children and check up on Tina.
Yes, of course. Poor darling, it must be very hard for her to have to work on Christmas. I know she was really hoping to be pardoned in time for the holidays.
Oh, I told her to forget all about that pardon because it was just wishful thinking, but you know Tina.
You tell her to keep up that wishing, all right? Because one way or the other, we're going to crack this baby-selling ring that the Wymans are running, and she will be pardoned in time.
Well, I hope you're right about that, because if we don't come up with something soon, I got this feeling that she may do something rash. And if she does, we both know what will happen, right? Excuse me. Thanks a lot.
Sure. Okay.
No. Oh, I swear, Sarah did not leave because of you. She's got a new patient, has to start therapy.
Well, that's a relief. You know how much Sarah means to me. I really don't think I could live with myself if I was the cause of a split between the two of you.
You don't have the power. Not even Asa Buchanan could split up Sarah and me.
For once, there's something I can't do.
That dream you had, that must have been a humdinger. Or either that or you jumped into a bowl of bad chili or something.
You know, that's the first thing I thought of, too. Wait till I tell you about the kitchen in my old house in Cherokee County.
Isn't it wonderful, Vicky? Ace and Bo talking again and laughing just like always. It's a lovely sight. I'm very happy for you. Well, I thought I meant all of us. Mm-hmm. I think if you look around the room, honey, there's a lot of beautiful stuff going on. It's been quite a Christmas, hasn't it, Vicky? Yes, one of a kind. I just wish I could hope for the same New Year.
No,
please.
I want to hold it. It's all I have of him right now. It's silly, I know. It's only a toy car. It runs on batteries that weren't even included, and it makes a hell of a racket. But he wanted it so much. said it looked just like his daddy's car. We used to walk by Geppetto's toy store, and that's where he'd look in the window and he would dream that Santa Claus would bring him one. But Geppetto's was all sold out when I went there, and so was every other toy store in town. I didn't know how I was going to face him on Christmas morning. And then I was walking home to the halfway house, and I passed by this little tiny store that I never knew was there. And I went inside, and I got the storekeeper to search the entire store. And then, on the very back shelf, he found it. And I was so happy. God, I was so happy. What's happened to our beautiful little boy? What are they doing to him?
Don't do this to yourself, please. Don't do this. Come on. Now look, he's gonna be home. He is. You'll see. And he's gonna open all of his presents. We're gonna have a happy Christmas. It's just gonna have to be postponed a while. Just for a while.
Your Highness, Miss Gordon.
Oh, please, don't get up.
My vision problems don't prevent me from acting like a gentleman, I hope.
Well, thank you. So, will Megan be joining us?
No. She felt this reintroduction would go more smoothly if I were left entirely in your hands. I tried to tell her there was no need to drag you away from the family celebration. I mean, it's not as if I'm helpless. The fact is, I'm really only doing this for Megan.
For Megan?
Yes. She's so worried about me. I want to reassure her that I'm perfectly capable of taking care of myself.
Raymond, you know what? You don't have to make up any excuses for me, because to tell you the truth, I've heard just about every excuse from almost every patient I've ever worked with.
You know, Sarah, I don't doubt your experience with other patients, but I think my situation is unique.
Everyone does.
Well, that may well be, but I'll soon become the monarch of my country, with all the responsibility that goes with it. I can't be perceived as an invalid.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, because you certainly aren't one.
You know, Sarah, I don't doubt that you're very effective with your other patients, but you can't give me back my sight.
Your Highness, there are a whole lot of different ways of seeing things. Unfortunately, the way that you're accustomed to has been taken away from you for now. There's a whole world of possibilities in front of you, and I would like to show those to you.
Just like your sister, you don't take no for an answer, do you?
Well, I'm in the business of taking no and turning it into yes.
If I agree to work with you, there are bound to be repercussions. Since I am what is known as, in the gossip columns, as an eligible bachelor, there'll be rumors about us, even though you're engaged to Beau.
I think Beau and I can handle it. You can handle the work I'm going to give you.
Well, I've never run from a challenge in my life.
Good. Then let's get started.
What? You mean here or now?
Mm-hmm. Right here and now. We'll start with something very simple. You can call the waiter over and order me a cup of coffee.
Yeah, nothing to it. Waiter.
Well, Vicki, honey, I don't know what to say. This morning when I saw you and Clint and the kids, you looked so happy. I thought that was a pretty picture, wasn't it? I just don't know if it's going to be for real, and I think maybe it's a bit greedy to hope for 2 holiday miracles. Well, I don't know. Maybe look at it this way. If Asa Buchanan can transform back into a human being, honey, anything can happen. I guess so. Because short of a miracle, I don't know how Clint and I... You keep talking about Clint and I. Mm-hmm. Is there still a third party in the picture? I could lie to you, tell you Roger's out of my life completely. But I have finally realized that he will always have a very important place in my heart. Talk to me really honestly. Do you think you have enough space in your heart for both Clint and Roger? I don't know. I really don't. But that's not the issue. It doesn't matter, really, what man is in my life. What's important is the children. I think the rest of us will somehow muddle through and manage to survive, but my children deserve to have a happy and a secure childhood. And that's what I intend to give them. Well, I don't know, Don.
Where's the game?
Here, I'll show you.
That looks to me like they're pretty happy and secure. They've grown up in a house where they've seen the kind of love that you and Clint share. Don't underestimate that love, honey. I think that's going to see you through.
Okay, that was good. You placed the order. But before the waiter comes back, I want to talk just for 1 minute about what you didn't do.
Oh, come on, Sarah. I couldn't have made a mistake with something as simple as ordering coffee.
Well, you called the waiter over and you spoke. But you didn't speak to him.
Well, maybe that's because I couldn't see him.
Hey, don't get defensive on me, all right? Even though you can't see someone, it doesn't mean you can't turn to face them to communicate with them. I want you to do something for me, all right? I want you to sit here and get used to the feel of the space around you, all right? Feel the flow of the air on your face, your fingertips. Even though you can't see, doesn't mean you're in total isolation.
What was that?
You felt something?
Well, I sensed something. That's all I know.
That's very good. You were aware that I moved my hand closer to your face. Now, it's going to be the same thing with people approaching you. When you hear them, you turn to face the direction that you hear them coming. In fact, you can even maintain a certain kind of eye contact even though you can't see.
You make it sound easy.
Well, it gets easy with some practice. Here's an opportunity for you to try it.
Your coffee, Miss Gordon?
Here. Put it by me.
Yes, sir. I'll need someone to sign the check.
If you'll hand me the pen.
It would be helpful if you could put your finger right where you need Prince Raymond's signature.
If you don't mind.
Not at all.
I do hope that this is a bill for coffee and not a blank check. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Well done, Your Honor.
Oh, not too bad for a rookie, was I? Of course, I had a great coach.
Well, a teacher is only as good as a student.
Wait, there's more.
Actually,
Let me pour.
I can't stay. But I will stick around long enough to give you your assignment for our next meeting.
Assignment? I thought those days were over.
You better get used to it. I want you to go someplace you've never seen before. Let all your other senses take over so that you can learn as much about the place as possible. And I want a full report next time we get together. Is that too tough for you?
Tough. Teach. I'm ready for anything now, thanks to you.
Okay. Well, you practice. Until next time.
I will. Thanks again, sir.
Okay.
Doesn't make any sense. We checked the bus stop, we checked the train station. It's just as if we imagined that this woman existed.
Well, we didn't imagine her. She's out there somewhere and we'll find her. But in the meantime, you're going to get something to eat, okay? Then we'll hit the streets again. Come on, let's get a table.
Look, I don't want any arguments from you. You have to eat. You have to keep up your strength for Al.
You don't understand. Al is my strength. He's the reason I get up in the morning. He's the reason I go through the entire day, no matter how difficult it gets.
It's amazing. Such a little guy has made all the difference in my life, too.
Yeah. And with everything that's happened, the custody fight, my being on trial, now being in the halfway house, you know, he's never once complained. But how much can a little boy take?
Wait. Hell, hold it. Hold it. We made a promise here, remember? No more negative thoughts are going to creep back in. They don't help us. They just make us weak and make us feel powerless, and that's not good for anybody, especially Al.
I know you're right. You're right. We have to be strong and optimistic because that's the only hope we have of bringing him home.
That's right. So now, come on, eat up. Here, have some soup.
Max, Gabrielle.
Herb.
Yeah, this is Dennis Draper. He's a federal agent. Mr. Holden, Miss Medina, the parents.
How do you do?
Hello.
Ray filled me in on it today.
Well, did you talk to him within the last hour?
Yes, we both have.
Well, Herb, do you have any new information? Did Rafe tell you something that he didn't tell us? Herb? For God's sake, do you know anything about our son?
Homework.
That's right. Sarah says I have to go someplace completely new to me. But she didn't say I had to go there alone.
Oh, well, that's why you have Joseph.
That's not quite what I had in mind.
Oh, you mean to tell me that you're not afraid to go somewhere without your bodyguard?
Well, I like to think I can protect my own body when the need arises.
Mm-hmm.
There are also times when a man, even a prince, should allow himself a certain vulnerability.
Ah, and this is one of those times.
I only have a few days of freedom left before I have to return to Mendora. I don't want to spend that time away from you.
Well, you know how to make a woman's head turn, Your Highness.
Just plain Raymond, at least for a few more days.
Okay, just plain Raymond. You want to go someplace and be totally alone?
With you.
With me? Someplace where you've never been before, away from the prying eyes of the press?
You know such a place?
I might. But you're going to have to be willing to put yourself completely into my hands. No Joseph to guard you, no royal crown to hide behind. Just plain old you, plain old me. One man, one woman.
Now tell me the bad news. Well, today, Sarah gave me my first lesson in changing my life for the better. I think it's time her sister took me to the next level.
Why is it that I feel that I may need a bodyguard?
Asa, honey, why don't you and I and Uncle Bo, why don't we go down to the stables with the kids and name the yearling?
It's a little cold, Renee. Maybe later.
I don't know, Pa. Now seems like the ideal time to me.
It does? Yes, it does. Come on, you guys. Help me name that yearling. Come on.
Great. I never named a horse. Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
You're scared? What are you scared of, the horse? Are you afraid of the horse? But, honey, you've never been afraid of a horse before.
You know something? You know that pony in your coloring book, the pink one with the wings? I will bet you 10 lollipops that the horse in Grandpa Ace's stable is just as sweet and just as nice as the one in your coloring book.
Hey, you know what? I used to be scared of horses one time, too. That's right. But Grandpa Asa, he let me feed them carrots and rub their little soft nose, and you know what? We became the best of friends.
You want to come with me, Jeff? Huh? Come on, honey. We will carry the carrots, and we'll let the big boys name the horsey.
Sounds good to me. Come on, let's go, partners. Move out there.
Well, a little subtle how they left us alone, isn't it? Vicky? You worried about Jessica?
Yes, I am. But she's always been such a brave little girl, and lately the least little thing frightens her.
What, more nightmares?
Yes. She had one last night. About midnight, she woke up, calling for Daddy. I went in, and I tried as best as I could to explain, well, you know.
Well, I do know that when a little girl wakes up and wants her daddy there to scare away the boogeyman, he ought to be there for her. If it happens again tonight, I'll be there.
Does that mean you'll move back
Vicky,
in?
look.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to pressure you, but I just want to know where we stand.
No, I know. I wish I could tell you. All I know is that we've had too much between us. We've had too many ties that bind us together to just call it quits.
Well, that's how I feel. But you know that, don't you?
Yes, I wish I could make it different. I wish I could just snap my fingers and change things overnight, but I can't. All I can do is promise to take things one day at a time.
Gabrielle, I didn't mean to make you more anxious than you are already. It's just that, unfortunately, we still haven't found your son or heard any word on his whereabouts.
So then we're right back at square one. All we have is Andy and Tyler's description of the homeless lady?
Well, at least we have Agent Draper and his people, and now that the federal authorities are involved, the investigation should go into high gear.
Yeah, I'd like to begin by asking you a few questions, Miss Medina.
Well, is this absolutely necessary? Look, we gave all the information we knew to Captain Garrettson already.
Max, let the man do his job.
I'm not trying to stop him from his job, Herb. It's just that Gabrielle's been through so much, I can answer the questions for you.
I'm sorry, but I have to account for Miss Medina's time after she left the halfway house and before she arrived at the park to meet you and the babysitters.
I don't understand what... why my whereabouts have anything to do with this.
You don't object to answering the question, do you?
Wait a minute. What the hell's this about?
No, it's all right. I'll tell them what they want to know. When I left the halfway house, I had trouble getting a taxi, so I walked to the park.
Anybody see her?
But I don't like the tone of these questions, Herb.
Max, now we learned that Gabrielle made plans to leave Llanview last night. That's true, isn't it?
Yes. I was being transferred to another halfway house in Pine Valley, but I still don't understand why.
Yeah, and neither do I. What the hell is going on here?
Ms. Medina, is it true that you fought a bitter custody battle for your son and lost?
Yes, but... Oh, no, you're not suggesting, are you?
I hate to be the one to say it, but sometimes when parents lose custody, they take desperate measures.
You're saying that I kidnapped my very own son? Say something. Oh, and you don't believe this is true, do you?